Hey y'all, it's me. It's Christian Jackson, your favorite licensed therapist. I have a quick question for you, and this is no shade. Are you still stuck in that same dating cycle where you end up making choices that don't reflect who you are because you're turning into basically a chameleon, i.e. you mighty morph into whatever your new man or your new woman wants you to be? And your stomach is dropping and you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not taking care of yourself. And yes, these are symptoms of anxiety. Relationships are the trigger, and they hard and they sometimes suck. So what do you need? 5 things that I have in the Grace Method where you can find how to move from being anxiously in love to being more confident in your relationships. Not just dating though, folks, because your kids may be walking all over you too, and you need a voice and they need to hear it, right? Come to your Grace Space. I am building a community of like-minded women who want to get together monthly to discuss how to move from being anxiously connected to their relationships to being more confident just in themselves. And this accountability community will include the option of one-on-one therapeutic coaching calls with me, access to experts, and more. Go to couchwithchristian.com. That is couchwithchristian.com. Follow me on IG at couchwithchristian, and I'll see you there.
Yeah, what is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. I'm your host, Rob. How y'all doing, man? Y'all doing good out there? You're doing all right? You're feeling great? This is the first solo episode of 2023. Yeah. Shout out to Virgil Johnson, who's the first guest of 2023. Gave us a dynamic interview to start the year. Shout out to Christian Jackson. Shout out to Jessica Van. We had a great episode together breaking down the characters from the Best Man series. If you have not listened to those 2 episodes, man, you need to go back and listen. But yo, I'm hype. I'm back into my groove. My life is resettled, refocused for now, and I feel great. And, we're going to get into some things today. You know how we do. Man, it feels good to have some normalcy. Let me tell you, it's not 100% there, but it's way better than it was 30 days ago. Excuse me, get some water here. A little thirsty tonight, Yeah, man. So I hope y'all are doing well. First of all, shout out to you, those of you who like, share, subscribe, all those beautiful, wonderful things, man. Thank you so much. I want to do something new this year, and I'm going to really, really push it. So if you're one of my listeners, please, I want to have a segment called Sharing the Experience. So if you've had an experience out there, maybe something really positive happened to you. Maybe you landed a new job after not having a job for a while. Maybe you finally started this business, and you want to talk about your journey really quickly and something interesting happened in that process. Maybe you had a spicy night out of town. Send us via email, rob@fme.com or admin@fme.com. Once again, rob@fme.com or admin@fme.com. Wait, what's my web? Hold on. I'm tripping. Is it FME Podcast? What's my email address, y'all? Sorry, I'm lightheaded. Somebody in my house. I'm sorry. It's rob@fmepodcast.com or admin@fmepodcast.com. Sorry, somebody left the gas on in the house and I'm lightheaded. So I'm airing out the house right now. But rob@fmepodcast.com or admin@fmepodcast.com. It will be in the description. Share your experience with us. Share your experiences. If you have like a crazy story you want to tell, you can remain anonymous. I want to share it on our new segment called Sharing the Experience. Hopefully I can start that next episode. All right, let's get into your headlines. Ay. Man, all right. First off, man, and this seems to be like, we hear stories about this all the time. We've heard this from a lot of celebrities, man. From entrepreneur.com, Usain Bolt, unfortunately, the legendary Jamaican sprinter, was reportedly caught up in a massive employee fraud scheme that resulted in over 1.2 billion in stolen funds from a wealth management company, Stocks and Securities Limited, that's SSL. Bolt had millions invested with SSL. His manager, Nugent Walker, told Jamaica's The Gleaner outlet. Stocks and Securities Limited is a wealth management company and brokerage. According to its site, it has a main office in Kingston, Jamaica, and provides services including private wealth management, yo. So unfortunately, Usain Bolt got taken for a ride along with others. I pray that he gets his money back, man. Listen, if you got money and you wealthy, vet your investments and investors. All these companies, vet them. I'm not saying he didn't. Make sure you vet them. All right, in an interesting turn of events, so we reported on this previously, actually. Helena Hutchins, excuse me. So she worked on the camera crew with Alec Baldwin, and there was a prop gun involved, and he fired the gun, or the gun fired in his hand, according to Alec Baldwin, and she was killed by accident. So there's actually an update on that. That happened last year. So prosecutors plan to charge actor Alec Baldwin with involuntary manslaughter in the deadly 2021 Rust film shooting. The film armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed will also be charged. This is according to CNN.com. The film set shooting resulted in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins after she was struck by a live round of ammunition fired from a prop gun held by Baldwin. Baldwin has maintained he did not pull the gun's trigger, placing responsibility for the tragedy on the armorer and props assistant on the film, as well as the assistant director who handed him the gun. Attorneys for the crew members have accused Baldwin of deflecting blame. I mean, who wants to take blame for the death of an innocent? But I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I didn't look up involuntary manslaughter. Maybe y'all can look it up. Let me know what it means. I'll look it up later. That's wild. I don't know what type of punishment or sentence that carries, but sheesh, who wants to go through that, man? And again, peace, blessings, and prayers to that young lady's family. All right, CNET.com. Now this one's hot. So there's a new AI bot in town called ChatGPT. You've probably heard of this. And even if you're not into artificial intelligence, you'd better pay attention. The tool from a power player in artificial intelligence called OpenAI lets you type questions using natural language, to which the chatbot gives conversational, if somewhat stilted, answers. The bot remembers the thread of your dialogue using previous questions and answers to inform its next responses. Its answers are derived from huge volumes of information on the internet. It's a big deal. The tool seems pretty knowledgeable in areas where there's good training data for it to learn from. It's not omniscient or smart enough to replace all humans yet, but it can be creative, and its answers can sound downright authoritative. A few days after its launch, more than 1 million people were trying out ChatGPT, but its creator, the for-profit research lab called OpenAI, warns that ChatGPT may occasionally generate incorrect or misleading information, so be careful. Man. So if you have not checked out ChatGPT, I've seen people ask it questions. I've seen it solve equations. One of my friends said it actually did some work for her. Like, it planned out like 2 months worth of work for her. I've seen someone ask it to type up a resume, and it typed up a resume. I was just like, ugh. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's on my list. And last but not least, HBCU Pride Nation. On Instagram, man. So yesterday afternoon, hundreds of Dell State University students gathered outside of the university's public safety building to protest inadequate policing from campus officers, specifically focused on sexual assault. Student leaders are protesting I can't talk tonight. Student leaders are protesting excessive force from campus officers and the lack of urgency towards student safety. The students are demanding that their issues be brought to light by university officials to see a change in the safety of students on campus. Gotta protect our babies, man. Gotta protect our babies. Gotta protect our babies. People sending their parents are sending their children to these schools, man, and these schools are not cheap. I went to college. I went to an HBCU. It was not cheap. And yeah, you do want adequate security, and you want to make sure that they're handling business, especially when it comes to sexual assault. Nobody wants to go away from home to further their education and feel like they're in danger of being sexually assaulted, and they definitely don't want to feel like nobody's going to do anything about it. Man, so those are your headlines. All right, y'all. Listen. I'm not going to keep y'all long at all. Like, at all. At all. Literally, this is probably going to be like the shortest podcast of the year. And I just had, the last episode was actually the longest podcast ever. So that's going to be hilarious. Yo, it is 2023. And this is what I want you to do at some point before Monday, because I'm dropping late. It's Friday when you're hearing this, or Saturday, or hopefully Sunday. Let me timestamp this for the people who listen to this years later. It is Thursday, January 19th, 2023. Stop and think about how much your life has changed and how much the world has changed. As of right now, I got my window open. I hope y'all can't hear that. Maybe I should have closed the window. But think about how much your life in the world has changed. And those of us who are blessed to be here another year, I mean, just wow. Just wow, man. So I really want y'all to stop, take in where you've been, what you've been through, even just 2022. Take the time to stop, think about what you went through in 2022, your accomplishments, your achievements, your highs, your lows. And, you know, even though this is a new year, I always encourage you to do some self-inventory before a new year. Don't wait until a new year. You can do it monthly. You can do it bi-weekly. You can do it weekly. But we here now. So really take some inventory. Check those goals if you have goals. Or check your progress if you have progress. You know, maybe you set a goal last year, or you're making progress on something last year. Continue pushing for that this year. Do things differently this year. In my positive vibe, which I drop on Tuesdays, the positive vibe, make sure you check out our Instagram, FME_podcast, to check out the positive vibe every Tuesday, which is just words of encouragement. I said the biggest thing I'm doing this year is I am not creating space, room, or time for foolishness. I am not doing it. Anyone or any entity, anything that is trying to draw me into drama and foolishness that does not serve me, that does not serve my purpose, that does not serve what I'm working towards, you out of here, bro. You gone. You are gone. I don't have time for you. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm blocking. I'm unfollowing. I'm unsubscribing. I'm reporting. I'm deleting. All the things. You're out of here. I don't have time and room for the foolishness. I want my life to be filled with the positive things, the beautiful, wonderful, productive things, and the things that make me happy. The things that push me towards my goals and towards more happiness and towards more excellent stories for From My Experience podcasts and things I can just give to others. I want to build. When you make too much time and room for the foolishness, it takes away from what you're building. It weakens your foundation. Stop giving it time, effort, and energy. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it. The biggest things I'm focused on this year are this podcast, providing my new service, which is one-on-one podcast consultation. So if you want to start a podcast, holla at your boy. That'll be on fmepodcast.com coming soon. I'll have an advertisement up for that. So I'll be doing one-on-one consultations to help people get started with their podcast, just helping you lay a very strong foundation for getting started with a podcast. I've been doing this now for a hot minute, over 250 episodes, plenty of feedback, plenty of experience. Just pretty much anything you can think of in podcasting, I've seen it or done it or experienced it. And yeah, I want to pass it on to the people who want to get started so you won't bump your head like I did. You're still going to make some mistakes. You're still going to have some things to learn, but that's cool. Nobody is perfect, but I want you to have a stronger start than I did. So I'll be offering that service. So I'm going to be doing that this year. As you heard, my new segment, sharing the experience. I want people to write into us and tell us about their experiences so we can share them on the show. We're going to continue to have dynamic guests as we've always been doing. And another big focus I want to do this year is having more panel discussions. So I've been tapping friends on the shoulder like, yo, I'm going to hit you up for this. Yo, I'm going to hit you up for this. Hey, I'm going to hit you up for this. I really enjoyed that episode I did with Jessica and Christian talking about the Best Man holiday. It was different, very different. You know, usually we're very serious over here with some jokes in between, of course. But I wanted to do something different and new. And the Best Man series is near and dear to my heart. I love Black Love. I love all the actors that were in that series. And I felt like, they deserved a little bit of a deep dive, which is what we did. So we spent over 2 hours talking about the Best Man holiday, and the Best Man, the final chapters. And I want to do more things like that. So when it comes to some of these movies and things like that, we want to break down the people and the experiences we've had when it comes to them. Not just a review of what we thought about the movie, like everybody else is doing. We want to talk about the actual situations that the characters were in and kind of break that down and look at our own lives and say, hey, I can relate to that, based on my experience. Also, another big focus, man, Pass the Peas app. Pass the Peas app. Pass the Peas app. If you have not downloaded Pass the Peas app, download it right now, man. Pass the Peas app. You can upload your own family recipes and film yourself in 1-minute segments, showing steps and adding that extra little dash of love and sending out that special message. And most importantly, sharing your recipes, man. You can create collaborative family cookbooks on Pass the Peas app. So shout out to Carl Van. He is the brainchild behind that. I'm definitely going to be diving in deep with Pass the Peas app. You're going to be hearing more about Pass the Peas app. You're going to hear me just talking about it a lot and just sharing a bunch of news when it comes to Pass the Peas app. And I want y'all to get involved, man. I want you to download the app, upload some recipes, hit me up and be like, yo, Rob, hey, I just dropped a recipe on Pass the Peas, and I'm gonna go look at it, and I might hit the kitchen and try to cook it. I got a recipe on there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a new recipe up there within the next week. I'm gonna put my breakfast smoothie recipe up there. Yeah. I got you. Nice breakfast smoothie for y'all. So if you have not downloaded Pass the Peas app, please download Pass the Peas app and follow them on all social media platforms as well. So those are going to be my main focuses this year. Other than that, I'm saving because your boy definitely wants to buy a house. So that's going to be another big focus. I am really narrowing down some of the things that I've been doing. People like to pull me in different directions and say, hey, can you help with this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm going to have to say no a lot more often than I normally would, because what I'm trying to get done is going to take time, effort, energy, and money, and I got to focus on that. And that's what my 2023 is going to look like. What is yours going to look like? Dramatic pause. What is yours going to look like? You going to do the same thing you did last year? You going to put up with the same stuff you put up with last year? Are you going to take a step forward each day? I'm just curious. I pray that you take a step forward. I pray that you build new and beneficial relationships. And I pray that you really enjoy yourself. I am definitely going to add some enjoyment into my life, whether that be a trip or buying myself something nice, doing stuff out of the ordinary, spending time with some cool people I ain't seen. Maybe I need to hit the road some more. I'm definitely going to add some more enjoyment into my 2023, because my last year, like the last 4 or 5 months of last year was like almost garbage. The best thing that happened near the end of last year was I got a lot of rest. Like I was able to, by the grace of God, just stop and rest and reflect and get a lot of stuff off my chest and get a lot of stuff off my mind and really clear the roadway. It was very uncomfortable. It's still uncomfortable. But you know what? I'm thankful that I had that time to just freeze. It was almost like when COVID hit. I just had time to freeze and stop and say, all right, let's clean this stuff up. And now that it's cleaned up, I got a clear path ahead. So, in closing, I hope you have a great start to your 2023. We're going to have some dope episodes from my experience I cannot talk today. We're going to have some dope episodes of From My Experience podcast. And I want you to like, share, and subscribe, man. Tell your friends about it. If you have a dope friend or family member or somebody you know whose story needs to be told and shared, tell them to holler at your boy Rob at fmepodcast.com or admin at fmepodcast.com. We love having guests. And again, we're going to have the panel discussions. I'm already on the lookout for TV series or movies that may be coming out, or just anything out in social media or in the world that's a great topic of discussion, so I can bring on other people with different viewpoints and different opinions so we can discuss these things and share our experiences. This podcast has just been a blessing. I love it, and I want it to continue to grow, and I want it to continue to provide positivity and promote positivity for you, the listeners out there. So thank you for your continued support. Again, don't forget, if you know someone that wants to start a podcast, or if you want to start a podcast, I'll be offering one-on-one consultations soon at an affordable rate. Very soon. We're going to put that little workshop thing together, and I'm going to help you get started with your podcast, because I love podcasting, and there's a lot of room in the podcast space, and this feels good to do this every week. It feels great. And again, Pass the Peas app. If you have not downloaded it, go to your app store, download Pass the Peas app, all right? The link so you can find out more about Pass the Peas app will be in the description. So, without further ado, let me holler at my brothers. Yo, my black brothers, my black men, my strong, wonderful, passionate, powerful, experienced at life black men. Our young black men need us. I didn't share this in the headlines because I didn't want to be super morbid, but the stuff that I'm seeing our young black men go through, man, just shooting each other, and the stuff we're shooting each other over, and just the way our young black men are carrying themselves on social media is bad. Not all of them. Not all of them. And honestly, probably not even the majority, but they like to show the foolishness to make it seem like it's all of us. But if you close to that person, man, even if you young yourself and you in a crew or you in a group, and you got a friend, there's nothing wrong with trying to talk some sense into somebody. There's nothing wrong with squashing a situation with a conversation. There's nothing wrong with walking away. We got to learn to do that. We are not managing our feelings well. Also, nobody owes you anything. I didn't look it up, but I saw a glimpse of a young lady, I believe a young lady and her baby, but I believe definitely a young lady was killed by a guy who apparently had a crush on her and tried to holler at her, and she turned him down and he killed her. Like, stuff like that is heartbreaking. That's what they mean when they say protect black women. That, you know, no one should be harmed or done wrong because they told you no. That's wild that your reaction to someone telling you no, somebody that does not owe you anything, your reaction is to kill them. Yeah, that was heartbreaking and that was disheartening, man. And they were young. They were young. You know, the college shootings that have been happening. Young people are out here doing these things, man. And it's like, what is really going on with you? Like, where are your mentors? Who is speaking life into these kids, man? Because it's just sad. And I'm really trying to wrap my head around it. I don't like looking at that stuff, but it is, you know, important to be aware so that you can educate. But looking at some of these situations, I get it to an extent. I've been angry at someone before, and I knew how I felt in the moment, but I used my words. I might have not have used the nicest words or the best words, but I used my words. I didn't use physical violence. But life and my mentors have taught me nobody owes you anything, and, you know, you're not always going to get your way. And when you don't get your way, it's okay. Move on. It's okay. Move on. So that's all I want to say, man. If you got a young bull next to you in your life, close to you, please talk some sense into them. Please help them out. Especially if you're in the hip hop game, man. Oh my gosh. It's like every other week a young hip hop artist is dying to violence. I don't get it. Ugh, I hate to end on such a morbid note, but that was just really on my heart, man, because we are impactful. They're watching us, all right? And you have the power to make change. So exercise that power. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The first solo episode of 2023 is a rapperooski. I'll never say that again. Man, I just want to thank y'all. You know, From My Experience podcast has been running for a hot minute. I want to say 5 years now. Somewhere around there. And I'm just thankful for the growth. I'm thankful for the love, the text messages, the emails, and I'm thankful for the peace in my life. And I'm also thankful for the fact that I can give back to the world. Not just one person, not just one community, the world. Anybody who's listening to this, I want you to draw positivity from it and share it with someone. They might think it's whack, they might not like it. Cool, tell them to share it with somebody else. Maybe they'll like it. You know what I mean? I just want y'all to pull positivity from this show always. I want you to get those nuggets always. I want you to go back and be able to listen to episode 1 all the way up to episode whatever, and get something positive and relevant from it. That's the goal, all right? We're going to have some fun this year. We're going to crack some jokes this year. And we're going to continue to promote positivity. So until next time, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We'll catch you next time. Peace.